If you haven't known about this already, Jimmy Watkins and everything over there at the Illinois Horsemen have come up with a really great idea honoring some of the great horsemen and folks who have given so much to the racing here in Collinsville. This year, or I should say at least this day in the race number 4, the recipient is probably known as one of the most consistent trainers of all time in the history going back to 101 years ago, and his name was Everett Hammond. Hammond himself was the leading trainer. Now get this number, 1964 to 1981. Absolutely a crazy number. He led the nation in victories back in 1967 with 200 wins. He had a really large stable here, and he was known not only as the leading trainer, but he was also known for his absolute consistency of how his horse ran. So today, the 4th race will be named in honor. I believe some of his family members will be here today. The Ring of Honor to trainer Everett Hammond. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want to stick around for that. Anyway, we got ourselves a nice little 7th race card. I agree with Keith. I think that big scratch in the last race, it looked like it was going to be a single for me, and well, now had to change up that pick 4 ticket just a little bit. But we will be back in just a little bit. It's 24 minutes to post, probably about 10 minutes from now. But on behalf of everyone here at Excel Entertainment, we would like to welcome you to a Horse Hooky Tuesday in warm Fairmount Park. Welcome back, everybody. 17 minutes to post on this very warm afternoon. Remember, hydration is the key this afternoon. Peter Lurie with you here for the first race on the card, our 7-race card here for Tuesday. We're looking at a 6 furlongs maiden special weight group. These are not Illinois bred, so that extra bonus is not in effect. To start off the 50-cent pick 5, the horses are down the paddock. I believe Keith and I are on the same page, at least on our top pick. Let's take a look. Horse right in front of you there, that is the 2 horse, and that is Sweet Skylar for Scotty Becker. I've always loved this angle with the maiden special weights. Well meant by the public. Good effort. Actually, this was a great effort. I mean, this horse battled the whole way from start to finish and got beat and neck for the whole thing. That was back on May 16th. If that didn't take too much out of this horse, I understand the 4 to 5. I think when it's all said and done, it'll probably be 4 to 5, if not less. They are the speed. There is speed in the race, but I think if they want to go, they are the fastest in the group. And I think looks to be for a good spot for Scotty Becker, who's hitting right now at his usual 27%. Move our attention over to the rail trip. Army medic Heather Arian saw she got a victory over Churchill Downs last week. Congratulations out to Heather. This 3-year-old daughter of Army Mule, whose pop was Frisian Fire. The blinkers are coming off. Last time out, or I should say the last 2 times, down at Gulfstream Parkwall in the Heather Smolin group, this horse was in battles and just wasn't able to sustain it. So I have a feeling maybe the idea behind the blinkers off is just to try to get this horse to chill, not to want to get in a fight. However, with the rail trip, I won't be surprised if they start dueling with the 2 Sweet Skylar right off the bat. Ideally, there I can speak. Ideally, I think what you want to do would be if Sweet Skylar is hell-bent on the lead, let him go, swing around to their outside, and draft off of them. But again, I'm not the trainer, and we'll just have to see how that sets up. Horse is not bad looking. Not perspiring, looks good, ears are up and look very attentive. Go to the outside, bit of a price with Tiny Tot Queen. I didn't think there'd be 12 to 1, and it's not. 7 to 1, although this horse hesitating a let going into the saddling area. Not a big deal, just hesitated. Sometimes they can just hear a sound and it makes them hesitate out of it. This horse was so fractious in that debut. Another one that was well meant by the public. I'll tell you right now, my pick 5, I'm using all 3 of these horses. This horse was fractious, off slow, lost all chance, was well meant by the public in the debut. Steve Manley, second career race, not a big sample to worry about, 6%, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think the horse looks to be in a good spot. That work prior to that May 16th race, April 30th, was a 47-2 from the gate. The second of 27 going that morning. Good size horse, 6 furlongs. That extra half should be exactly what they want to do. Rounding out our top 4 is the 5 horse in front of you there, and that is Our Juju for Tammy Hornsby. There's Tammy. Interesting horse. It's a Gormley 3-year-old daughter whose pop was Malibu Moon, and the mare is the sire's Big Brown. You don't see too many of those these days. An Arkansas bred. I think it's an interesting horse. I'd like to see a race. The barn hits at about 3% with 30 first-time starters. Maiden special weight and whole, not a lot of them, so really not a number we can work with. They do get the hustling rider Corey Orm aboard. He is hungry, and he is making the most of his opportunities. Currently right now, 13% out of 52 starts, so he's doing quite well. This is a horse that I really don't know what they're going to do as far as the front end is concerned. They could be trying to go for the lead, or they could just sit back, settle, and make one run. Horse looks good. Nice and relaxed for a first-time starter. No blinkers, so that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing when they have blinkers on, but I've always found that sometimes when they come over first-time starters and they got the blinks already, that means the trainer's saying, oh, we got to get some attention, we got to get some speed, we got to get a little of everything. But that doesn't seem to be the case with this one. So 2175. I'm going to use the 1, 2, and 7 in the first leg of the early pick 5, but we're going to go with Sweet Skylar in our top spot. Good luck.
This Tuesday, it's all about adding another name to the Ring of Honor here in Collinsville, Illinois at Fairmount Park Casino and Racing as we, a collective we, will honor Everett Hammond after race number 4 is made official later on. Field of 7 to start the festivities at 3/4 of a mile, maiden allowance fillies and mares, 3 years of age and up. Wagering menu, rolling daily doubles, rolling pick threes, the 50-cent pick 5. You have trifecta, superfecta, win play show wagering. Post time coming up in just about 7 minutes. Parimutuel race time favorites are hitting at a high percentage so far this meeting, right around 44.5%, 55 of 123 races. Get those 50-cent pick 5 plays in. The early dollar pick 4 starts with race number 2. Post time for the opener today in 4 minutes. 2 minutes. Maiden fillies and mares approaching the starting gate for race number 1. Loading in for race 1. Sweet Skylar, Dominant Caitlin, 3 left, Tiny Tot Queen on the outside. Long Shot Caroline's Heart. Tiny Tot Queen moves in. Dance with Me, Fiona, last one. First of 7 in Collinsville, the flag is up. And they're off. A collision happened outside the gate between the 2 wagering choices, Army Medic and Sweet Skylar. Sweet Skylar bumps off and goes right towards the front, held by Long Shot Caroline's Heart. These 2 inseparable. On the outside running third is Tiny Tot Queen. Between is Dominant Caitlin in a very good situation. Here comes Army Medic to challenge now, bit headstrong, and is called upon to greet the front runners. Well back we have Dance With Me, Fiona, and the distant trailer is our Juju on debut, trailing by 10 lengths. Not much pace on. Around the turn they go in the opener. Sweet Skylar has to deal with Caroline's Heart. Caroline's Heart, the jockey has yet to move on Caroline's Heart, who now pulls even with a hard-driven Sweet Skylar, who now has the lead. Here comes Dance With Me, Fiona, from far back, is a handful for the rider. Army Medic has now faded to 4th. On the outside 5th is Tiny Tot Queen. They're into the stretch. Sweet Skylar has been the leader throughout and runs away by 4. Sweet Skylar might have to fend off Dance With Me Fiona. Oncoming horses that are just getting in one another's way. A tired Sweet Skylar. Dance With Me Fiona. Dance With Me Fiona. 18-1 to start a steamy Tuesday. One versus 5 in the stretch run does not involve your winner. Rider's objection. 1 versus 5 in the stretch. First 2 running finishers, first and second, are A-OK. Welcome back to the winner's circle. Number 4, Dance With Me Fiona and jockey Johanna Sorangeren. Owned by Cahokia Run Thoroughbreds, trained by Steve Fridley. Dance With Me Fiona is a 3-year-old daughter of Flatter out of the hard-spun mare Spinstress, bred in Kentucky by Sun Valley Farm. 18-1. You're looking at 1 versus 5 in deep stretch. Rider's objection. Start off the day with more donations courtesy of the Winning Connections for Thoroughbred Aftercare every time the bell is rung this year. 4-2 will stand, looking at 1 versus 5, deep stretch. Rider's objection. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no change to the running order. 4, 2, 5, and 7 will be posted official. 4, 2, 5, and 7 will be posted official. Your winner, Dance with Me Fiona, paid $37.60, $8.20 to place, $5 to show. Your favorite, Sweet Skylar, $2.60 and $2.20, and the 5 are Juju, $5 to show. That's $8 to show, pardon me. The dollar exact is $62.70. 50-cent trifecta, just shy of $190. 10-cent super, $173 and change. Race number 2, no changes, 6 furlongs, $4,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 this year. They go to the gate in 20 minutes.
I can hear you perfectly. Absolutely. I'm on. You can't hear me? Testing. One, two, three, four. Yes. You can't hear me? Wow. Hello? $1 pick four and the $1 pick three. Peter Lurie with you here on this Tuesday. I want to welcome all of our friends who are watching us on YouTube Live on the Fairmount Park channel. I've got a lot of friends around the LA area who have told me they watch on a regular basis. So let's get right to it. Looking at the field here, 6 furlongs the distance, a 4,000 non-winners of 2 in a year. Top selection for yours truly is right in front of us there, and that is the 6 horse. Verrazano first. Pat Clay, a winner last time out. This horse, a 9-year-old Verrazano, looks to be in a good spot here. Should be closing. Looking at the 3 horse, that is Good Scout for the Fernando Bahina stables. Good win last time out against a $4,000 group. The 2 horse is Sunny, Not So Funny. Got plenty of speed here for the Charlie Davis group. Showed some speed and then just kind of backed out of it last time out for optional 10. But now they're showing up for a $4,000 conditional tag. And the 1 horse running things out, Mr. Chivas for Steve Manley, as we've been looking the whole time. 11 minutes to post for race number 2 as we're looking at the field. And again, folks, welcome back as we're looking at this group here. The 6 horse, Verrazano first, looking and ready to roll here. Ladies and gentlemen, the horses are coming out on the track, and all I can tell you is 11 minutes to post. Race number 2. Good luck. God.
Non-winners of 2 races in 2026 for a $4,000 claiming price. The purse is $10,000. Field of 6. Jockey on the 4 is Rainier Arietta. Adjust the weight to 124. Post time for race number 2 is in 7 minutes.
Okay, you don't have to put me 3, 2, 1 me and I'll just talk. 5 minutes to post, folks, as we're looking at the field here in race number 2. And we've got, well, we got the pony off. Not sure what he's picking up, but safety first, so good luck to them. As far as the field is concerned, the 6-horse Verrazano first for trainer Pat Clay looks like the right horse. 5-2 on the line. 9-year-old son of Verrazano was a winner, 2 back for 5 furlongs. Went over to Hawthorne and stretched out to a mile and 70. It wasn't a bad race. It just came across as very one-paced. Also, at the 16th pole, they said this horse altered course and just kind of hung in there. So I like the way the horse looks coming into this. Johannes Aringaren looking for a second winner on today's card. Take both ends of the daily double. Looking at the field, the 2-3 horse, Good Scout for Fernando Bahina. Javier Tavares aboard for Fernando Bahina. This horse was a winner off the pace last time out. 5 for 25. Gets a big number as far as the Brisnet is concerned, with a 2nd and 7/3. This horse is a professional racehorse. 9-year-old son of Oxbow with 57 races under the belt. The 2-horse, Sonny's Not So Funny, was a winner for Charlie Davis. 3 back on April 14th. And this horse dropped out of it last time out, just retreated. So now they're dropping this horse down back to the what I would consider more comfortable pace. That is the $4,000 claimer there for Charlie Davis. Horse looks good, on the toes right now. That's exactly what you want to see. Rounding out the top 4 will be Mr. Chivas. Good luck to John Maroney. He owns this one outright. A 5-year-old son of Stay Thirsty. He's been racing at Fairmount Park for the most part. This is a Calbred. 5-year-old son of Stay Thirsty for John's longtime partner, Terry Lovinger. But it looks like this horse has spent a fair amount of time here. 32 starts under the belt. 9 starts right here at Fairmount Park and has won 3 races. This horse definitely could win, and getting a great price here at 4-1. So 6, 3, 2, 1 is how I'm going to see it here. 2 minutes to post. You've still got time to start off the $1 pick 4. Good luck.
3 minutes. 1 extra minute. Less than a minute. They're almost at the starting gate for the running of the second. They've reached the starting gate, loading in. Mr. Shivas and Orbital Star. Waiting on Sunny is not so funny. There goes Scotch No Rocks. Verrazano first is up. The 2 goes in, and we await Good Scout number 3. In the gate. Flag is up. And they're off. Another perfect dispatch. There goes Sunny is not so funny, used for early turn a hoof. Verrazano first is now laying in second. Scotch No Rocks right between, wants to go forward. Jockey says no, but will have part of the lead. Back and forth, just a length and a half off the lead, now 2 lengths back, is Good Scout. The last 2 down the backstretch, Mr. Shivas, the late runner, and Orbital Star is way back. They bend left for the only time here in the 6 furlong second. On the front throughout has been Sunny is not so funny. Scotch No Rocks not being able to hold this one back. Verrazano first goes all the way up to second and means business out here. Here comes a belated run again from Mr. Shivas, who is rolling by them all and goes from 5th to 3rd. There's a final furlong and a half here. Past the 3:30. Sunny is not so funny is wearing down. Verrazano first. Here's Mr. Shivas between. Good Scout is down the inside rail. Verrazano first. Bug Girl trying to go back to back. There's Good Scout. Verrazano first. Verrazano first. Good Scout second. Sunny is not so funny than Mr. Shivas fourth. Unofficial running order 6, 3, 2, and 1 in race 2. 6, 3, 2, and 1. Into the winner's circle steps number 6, Verrazano first, and the early double going to apprentice rider Johannes Aranguren. Owned by H&S Racing LLC, Pat Clay, the victorious trainer. Verrazano first, second win this meeting out of 3 starts. 9-year-old gelded son of Verrazano out of the Sky Mesa mare Nora in the Sky, bred in Illinois by Frank Mancari. Winning time, 1:12 and 4/5 of a second, 1:12.92 seconds. All 6 ran in race number 2. $5, $3.20, $2.40 across, $2.80 and $2.20 for your runner-up, Good Scout, and $3.40 to show for Sunny Is Not So Funny. $6.30 on the exacta trifecta, $14.20. Early daily double, $62.20, and the 10-cent superfecta, not quite $3 for a dime in race number 2. We had 2 claims out of the second race. Number 1, Mr. Shivas from our previous race, was claimed by new owner trainer Omar Razvi. And the 2, Sunny Is Not So Funny, new owner John Cox, new trainer Marvel Straub. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count. Testing.
15 minutes to post, race number 3. Welcome back, everybody. Peter Lurie with you on this Tuesday. Very warm, very humid, but so far we've seen some very hot payoffs. That first race in particular, Johannes Arengaren taking both ends of the double. In particular, her win in the second race, I thought was very, very strong for a 7-pound apprentice. The horse appeared to be beat, and she was able to get that one over the wire in front. I'm not giving her more praise than she should get, but the only other guy I remember used to do that was a Panamanian when he was an apprentice. His name was Lafitte Pinkai Jr. Just saying. Let's get ourselves out to the paddock. 15 minutes to post. Let's take a closer look. Before everybody starts going crazy, I'm not putting her in the same name or same breath as Lafitte Pinkai, but Lafitte was one of those type of riders who was just so strong that he could will a horse to the winner's circle when it appeared like they were going to get beat. This is a $5,000 non-winners of 4 lifetime for 3-year-olds and upward. This is also starting another $1 pick 3, and we are looking at the 5-horse Cog. We're all a cog in a wheel at one place or another. Anthony Blau, the trainer, 7-year-old son of Cupid, a couple of good seconds over at Sunland Park and one here at Fairmount Park. The horse is a 1 for 22 lifetime at the distance with 3 seconds and 5/3. But I still think this is a horse that probably makes a lot of sense. And you're getting a huge price, 6 to 1, if you happen to like. Now, as far as my now dead pick 5 ticket, I thought this was one you had to use 3 horses in the race, and we will get into them. Let's go to the rail trip. Obvious horse for a lot of folks, Manny's Cat. Former jockey Mark Anderson. I actually saw Mark ride a couple times. I think he maybe even went out to Santa Anita once or twice. This 5-year-old son of Leo Frick, whose pop was Candy Ride, is a 2 for 12 at the distance. Comes in off the Prairie Meadows Will Rogers circuit. This is a New York bred, so there's a lot to talk about there. Not a bad looking horse. To me, doesn't really look physically like a sprinter, but they've had 18 starts on a fast, 12 at the distance. And this will be the Fairmount Park debut for this one. Mark Anderson there, you can see, just going over to tack up. Angel Stanley, as we've mentioned before, this guy's having a great meet, 19%, way over what we've seen him do in the past couple of years. So good luck to them. Turn our attention to the 4, Somnus, for Jose Rodriguez. This is 6-year-old Always Dreaming, whose pop was Bodemeister, the mare's sire, still one of my favorites, Tis Now, which is interesting because I look at both those breedings with Bodemeister and Tis Now. You would have thought this horse would just do nothing but distance. And I can go back as far as June of last year, and all this horse has done is sprinted. Form, not great, but it was the last race. Now, you can look at it 2 ways. Either the muddy track moved this horse up, and with the Tis Now breeding, that's really a strong possibility. Or Jose found something and said, okay, now I think I know what we're doing. And this horse fought all the way down as the second choice in the wagering and just lost by a neck. I think this horse has a huge shot on today's card. Rounding out the top 4 is the 7 Severance, not the series, but the horse for Rhonda Thurman. Good third last time out, in that common race I was just talking about. So you ask yourself, was it the mud that moved this horse up? In their case, I think it might have been, because this horse has tried the distance 6 times and has never hit the board. Not saying they can't, but I believe in the percentages, and they got to prove to me they can do it. Do want to mention also the 6-horse Joyful Ghost, as we mentioned earlier, make the rider Renee Arrieta, as the apprentice, Victor Lara, is not riding this afternoon. So, 5147. I'm going to take a shot with a little bit of a price here. I'm hoping more than just a cog in the racing world of life. Good luck.
$5,000 the claiming price for the field of 7. Non-winners of 4 lifetime. Make the jockey on the 6, Joyful Ghost. Rainier Arietta. Adjust the weight to 124. Rolling daily doubles, rolling dollar pick threes. You have exactas, trifectas, superfectas, win place show wagering. Post time is in 7 minutes. 2 minutes. Horses look to be on their way to the starting gate. You still have 1 minute for all bets in race 3. Field loading in for race 3. Three left to come in. Gabagool moves in. Joyful Ghost and Severance. They're in the gate. Flag is up. The one giving the assistant. And they're off and racing. Good start for Smile Like Kyle. Also getting out well from the middle gate is Somnus to dictate. Cog will be up close in second. Manny's Cat, the parimutuel wagering favorite, is now attentive and goes swooping right underneath Somnus. These two duel, but the split comes from Smile Like Kyle, who says, enough, I'll take over the front. Back and forth is Cog, about 5 off the front-running trio. Next on the inside of that is Gabagool, flanked on the outside by Joyful Ghost. And last, into the turn is Severance. They all have to run down Smile Like Kyle. There's Somnus to going right up after and take over the front. Somnus passes Smile Like Kyle. Dropping off is Manny's Cat. That one's passed by both Joyful Ghost and in the center Cog. Making a bid as Gabagool has to circumvent around the outside, and Severance sticking to the rail. Wide open as they pass the 330. New leader, Joyful Ghost, 14-1, trying to add to the spark. Here is Joyful Ghost, who runs away. Joyful Ghost is going to score handily. Manny's Cat came through and got second away. Cog will be third, and Severance came from last for fourth. So the pick three went 18-1 to start, even money in the second race, and now 14-1. Race three now official. Joyful Ghost paid $29.40, $10.40 to place, $5.20 to show. The one, Manny's Cat, $3 and $2.40. Number 5, Cog, $3.20 to show. The early pick three, $1,822. Exacta for the third race, 6 with $151.40. Trifecta, 6, 1, and 5, $109.75. Mid-card double, 6 and 6 in races 2 and 3, $47.80. Welcome back to the winner's enclosure. Winner of today's third race, number 6, Joyful Ghost, and a pickup mount for Rainier Arietta. Owned by Dan Ramey, trained by John Weezy. Joyful Ghost is a 6-year-old son of Shaman's Ghost out of the Tis Wonderful mare. Elba's First, bred in New York by Mulholland Springs, LLC. All 7 ran in today's third. Fourth race, the Everett Hammond Ring of Honor purse. It goes the 2-turn mile. The 1 WW Star, 3 pounds over. No other changes to race number 4 to go postward in 19 minutes. We'll stay down in the winner's enclosure coming up. Well, I will mention that Geronimo Vasquez is the groom of the week, courtesy of the Ben DeLong Barn. Thank you, Mr. Vasquez, and all of the help in the winner's circle for our groom of the week.
Welcome back, everybody. We're looking at about 13 minutes to post for race number 4 to kick off the late pick 4 on our 7-race card. Before I go any further, I want to say congratulations out to Geronimo Vasquez, you just saw a few moments ago, who is the groom of the week. So congratulations to Geronimo and his family. This race is a mile, 15,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. Again, if you weren't with us earlier, we also wanted to acknowledge that the Ring of Honor today is for trainer Emmett Hammond. And most of you, I'm sure, if you're any bit of a fan of racing here at Fairmount Park, knows that Everett Hammond is probably an institution. We talk about Scotty Decker, and we talk about Jimmy Watkins and many of the trainers, Ralph Martinez. But this man was leading trainer from 1964 until 1981. In fact, at one point, he was the leading trainer in the nation. The year was 1967 with 200 winners. He was also known not only for his class and his prestige, but the fact that his horses were consistent. If they didn't win, they were right there. In fact, he's one of the most consistent trainers that have ever been around here at Fairmount Park and the Midwest as a whole. So after this race, there will be completing the Ring of Honor, and we thank Jimmy Watkins and the Illinois Horsemen for this new honor, and it is well deserved for Emmett. Emmett, congratulations. His whole family will be out here today. Let's get down and take a look at the horses here to kick off the pick 4. This 12 minutes, a mile. The claiming tag 15,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime, and we're looking at the field. The 2-horse Army Hero getting the lion's share of the wagering, and I'm not surprised at all for Steve Manley. You can see they're getting hosed off here. I wouldn't worry about this at all. It's a very, very warm day in the 90s and humid. And we want to make sure that everybody has their core nice and cool as they're getting ready to race. This is a good-looking 5-year-old son of Union Rags from the forestry mare Smokey's Love. Was bred in Kentucky by Gary and Mary West, longtime owner breeders in the racing world. They've had a lot of success both on and off the track. 1 for 8 in the winner's circle. 4 of the 8 have hit the board. The Brisnet speed number, I believe at the distance, is the top one. So I can understand why this horse is getting the lion's share of the wagering. Alexander Bendesu looking for his first winner of the afternoon. Move our attention to the second choice, the 1 WW Star. Big overlay from that 8-5 morning line for Scotty Becker. This horse was a good second, although be it a 1-pace second. They've only tried the distance once, although they are top and bottom with Street Sense, Dixie Union, and Maxfield, the actual sire, for the distance of 1 mile. This horse only tried it once. It was a second, probably one of the best breedings in the race at that distance. So we'll see how that thing plays itself out. Victor Santiago gets the call. As I mentioned, little one pace, but that was the first time since December of last year in a turf race this horse has gone 2 turns, so has the right to improve off of this one. 4 horse in line will be Bandolero, Terry Lovinger, and John Maroney sending this one out. Love going out to John Maroney, a homebred for Love Acres. That's Terry Lovinger's operations in California. 3-year-old son of Stay Thirsty. Was in the Steve Knapp barn, so this will be the first time we're going to see this horse at Fairmount Park. Has been competing on the West Circuit since his 3-year-old, or actually his 2-year-old inception. Was able to win a Calbred Maiden 20 by 11 lengths back in February of this year, but since then just hasn't been able to do it versus winners. So the idea is bring him out here. Steve Manley, very good with these horses. Came in with a May 10th work at Santa Anita at 46-3. That's a very fast work from the gate. Best of 83. Did not run well at all in that May 17th race, and hence is now here. No works. I would love to have seen one. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. Travis Wales gets the call, currently at 6-1. Good luck to Mr. Maroney and Mr. Lovinger. Rounding out the 4, Rag Tree, the 5 horse for Heather Irian. We just saw her walking by a minute ago with a bucket. Was a winner 2 back, the maiden special weight, back on May 16th. They decided to try the grass again. This horse is just not showing an affinity for it. Although the breeding says they should. I mean, Broken Vows, Dixie Unions, the Union Rags, they tend to be able to do okay on the grass. So far, synthetic and grass, this horse has wanted no part of it. Last published work was February 7th over at Turfway Park, but considering they just ran on May 31st, that doesn't bother me one bit. Reina Arrieta gets the call. This horse has a winner in a second and 3 tries at the distance. I think it's going to need some help up front, and there should be speed, but I'm not sure anybody's fast enough to go with Army Heroes, so that'll be interesting to see how that one goes out. This kicks off not only the $1 pick 3, but the $1 pick 4. I see it 2-1-4-5. Not going to get too creative. I'm going to go with the 1 and the 2 in this leg of the $1 pick 4. Horses getting ready to come out on the track. Good luck.
Three-year-olds and upward that have never won 2 races lifetime, in for the $15,000 claiming price. The 2-turn mile, race number 4, is the Everett Hammond Ring of Honor purse. rolling daily doubles, rolling pick threes, trifectas, exactas. You have the late dollar pick four. Win, play, show wagering. Post time is up in 6 minutes. In our last race, race number 3, the runner up, number 1, Manny's Cat, was claimed out of the third race for $5,000. New ownership, Francis Bustani Jr. and Cassie Corvin. The new trainer of the 1 Manny's Cat will be Benjamin DeLong. Two minutes. 1 minute, they're approaching the starting gate. Final wagers for the late pick four. WW Star and Bandolero move in. Ragtree. What a betting board. 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 7 to 2, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 10 to 1. Naughton and Best Dressed Man. They're in the gate. Flag is up to go a mile. And they're off. Quick beginning, quarter horsed away from the stall inside is WW Star, but going to have company in that of Bandolero, and shooting the gap is Naughton, making it very, very wide around turn number one is Best Dressed Man. Settling back off the pace is Army Hero in a joint third with the other runners, and well back is Ragtree trailing by almost 9 lengths. They go towards the 6 furlong pole now. It's WW Star had to earn it in the opening 2 furlongs, is out by almost a length and 3/4 from Naughton in second. Third along the rail is Army Hero, who moves on up into the exacta spot. Dropping off early is Best Dressed Man, about to get passed by Bandolero on the inside, and from last, Ragtree is making up ground on the far outside. That relegates Best Dressed Man last. Catch him if you can. WW Star out by almost 3.5 or 4 from Army Hero, who's asked for everything that he has. Next comes Naughton in third. Still dwindling far back are Bandolero and Ragtree, and nothing. Best Dressed Man is pretty much done. But around the turn they go to the quarter-mile mark. It's WW Star, bet down to 9 to 5 favoritism. Hugging that rail is breathing a bit of fire. They're coming to get him. Army Hero is in that mood in this $15,000 claiming race. They all have to run down. WW Star, who is now out by 6. WW Star is home free. WW Star romps gate to wire. Good ride that for Victor Santiago. Will win by 9 lengths. Army Hero for second. Naughton was third, and then Ragtree. Race 4 is now official. Your favorite at 9 to 5 paid $560, $280, $220. Army Hero paid $280 and $240. And the 3 Naughton paid $260. 10-cent superfecta just over $2. Pick 3 for races 2, 3, and 4, $180.40. The Everett Hammond Ring of Honor purse goes to number 1 WW Star and jockey Victor Santiago. Co-owned by Charles Ritter and Scott Becker. Scott Becker, the trainer, 3-year-old Ridgeling by Maxfield. Out of the Dixie Union mare, Revered, bred in Kentucky by Columbiana Farm, LLC. The winning time over the mile, 1:40 and 1/5 of a second, 1:40 and 28 1/100ths. We'll stay with the winner's circle here for a very well-deserved presentation in the winner's enclosure. Friends and family in the winner's circle of longtime trainer over these grounds, Mr. Everett Hammond. For decades, Everett Hammond was the leading trainer right here at Fairmount Park, known for managing a large stable with skill and consistency. He produced and conditioned horses and dependable performances throughout his racing career. He led the nation in training victories back with 200 in 1967 and was Fairmount Park's leading trainer from 1964 through 1981. With 19,000 starts, he had over 3,400 victories. Thank you to the friends and family accepting his place in the Fairmount Park Casino and Racing's Ring of Honor. In race number 4, the runner-up, number 2, Army Hero, was claimed out of the 4th race for $15,000 by new ownership, Crazy Horse Racing, LLC, Randy Matthews and Company. The new trainer of number 2, Army Hero, in our previous race is Lori Plasters.
14 minutes to post for the final pick 3 of the 7-race card. Welcome back, everybody. It's really nice to see the family down there for that Ring of Honor presentation. Old Emmett, we are proud of you here at Fairmount Park. Welcome to all of our friends also watching on YouTube Live on the Fairmount Park page. If you're not doing this, but you've heard about it, just go on over to YouTube, go to the YouTube Live page, and you'll find Fairmount Park. And you can watch us there from wherever the heck you happen to be. We got a 15,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime here, going 6 furlongs. Horses already down in the paddock. Let's take a closer look. Tremendous scratch in this race. The 7-horse, for at least myself, south of Birmingham, I thought was a big play today, and unfortunately not racing. Same can be said for the 6 Playground Warrior. That leaves us with a field of 5. I'm now going to go with the 2, and that's I Need More Money. Who doesn't? For trainer Harry Lynch and Lynch Racing. A very nice win last time out, going 5.5 by 7 lengths. I mean, there was no competition. This horse went off as the 1-9 favorite that particular afternoon. Now they've got to do something they've never done before. They've got to face winners. And that is usually not an easy task. This 3-year-old son of Cupid from the Majestic Perfection mare, Charles Kidder. Don't know too much about Charles Kidder. Breeding says that the 6 furlongs, the Axter-added edition, should be fine. But as I said before, caution. I had this horse second originally because I just think it's very difficult to get the win. There is speed to the outside, so I don't know if they're going to be getting this uncontested, but I still think at this point, this is the horse you got to beat at 5-2. Move our attention right to the inside of them, or the outside, I should say. The original 8-5 morning line favorite, currently at 2-1, and that's Big Walt for Jose Rodriguez, formerly of the Jimmy Watkins barns. So not sure what happened here. Might have been a private purchase. But this horse is being dropped down. The form's been tough. The last time this horse was a winner was November of 2024 on a sloppy track going 2 turns. So just not sure. I wrote tricky. Can they win in a field of 5 like this? Absolutely they can win. As you can see, though, they're doing the saddling on the walk. I've had horses you have to do this to. And what happens is they start getting keyed up. And that's when they'll rear. That's when they might run off. So you could see right there Jose Rodriguez doing the best he can. They'd stop for a second, see if he could cinch up. The minute the horse started to get key up, you got to walk him. And that's really the only way you can get this done. June 4th was their last published work. It was a 51, 3rd of 4. I think it was just basically a maintenance. The horse in front of you there is Man of Quality for owner-trainer Don Martin. There's Don right there. Reina Arrieta gets the call. June 4th worked a 49 best of that morning right here at Fairmount Park. This 4 Laoban, whose grandsire was Uncle Mo, out of a quality road mare, Emerald Quality. This Kentucky bred was bred at the Phoenix Thoroughbreds 3 LTD. They've tried the distance twice. They did win with one of them. And that was back in July last year. So this is the second time coming off the layoff. The barn, 0 for 10 off the layoff. But it's based on a sample of 10, so I wouldn't read too much into that. Claiming as a whole, Dawn does well, 15%. Sprints, she's 12%. Dirt starts with 106 in the sample. She hits about little more than once every 10 races. So tough to make the case, but I think they've got the other speed in the race besides I Need More Money. So if something for some weird should happen and I Need More Money isn't able to make the lead, this is the kind of horse that maybe could steal one. However, it could be a situation of them dueling each other out and then setting up for a horse like Big Walt. So, field of 7 now down to a field of 5, 9-5 favorite on Big Walt, but we're still going to take a shot with Harry Lynch and I Need More Money. Who doesn't? Good luck.
Our fifth race for 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of two, 15,000 the claiming price. We go 6 furlongs, 3/4 of a mile to you and I. Scratch number 6, Playground Warrior, and number 7, South of Birmingham. So we got a fiver. Win, place, exacta, trifecta, rolling doubles, yes, superfectas, and another rolling pick 3 gets going in just 6 minutes. Three minutes. You still have 1 minute. Field of 5 runners headed towards the starting gate. They've reached the starting gate, loading in for race 5. Time to toast first. Big Walt. I need more money. Man of Quality. And Zenergy Unbridled. Zenergy being coaxed in, backs away. Hit send on your last chance wagers. Zenergy Unbridled is in. Flag is up. And they're off. Bounced around at the start was Big Walt. Out very well is Zenergy Unbridled. Here comes another gray. Time to toast. And splitting is Man of Quality. So on the front, Man of Quality. And on the inside, I need more money. And switching down to the inside is Time to Toast, who bowls on through the rail opening. Back and forth is Big Walt. And last is Zenergy Unbridled. They're about to bend left here, and it's Time to Toast by a length and a half. The oncoming Man of Quality is spinning the hooves in second. Picking him up is Big Walt, who means business. I Need More Money has to do a heck of a lot better, and so does Zenergy Unbridled, who's 12 lengths last. They're about to pass the quarter-mile pull and head down the lane. Time to Toast, trying the last out. Big Walt is gaining ever so slightly, still has 2.5 or 3 to make up. Nothing coming from far back. Man of Quality about to take over third. I Need More Money is tracking the front runner. Time to Toast, trying to last it out. It's 3 on the day for 7-pound apprentice Johannes Arengeren. I Need More Money was second, then Big Walt. Race number 5 now official. Race 4 and 5 daily double, 1 with one, $43. Time to toast at 3 to 1, paid $8.60 to win, $4.20 to place. And now, entering the winner's circle is number 1, Time to Toast, and a 3-bagger for Johanna Sarangren. Owned by Jason Velasquez, trained by Jessica Jelinski, 3-year-old gelded son of American Pastime. Out of the New Year's Day mare, Toast to JJ, bred in Indiana by Patrick Norman Easter. The winning time, a minute 13 flat, minute 13 and 10/100ths of a second. 6 and 7 were scratched from race number 5. We'll have the Clean Barn Award coming up shortly. In the 6th race, scratch out number 6, Miss Kitty Pie. In the 7th and last race today, scratch out number 2, Wildwood Overtime. The pick 5, $5,425.35. Pick 3 paid 2 of 3, $16.10. The early pick 4, $934.70. In the winner's circle, cleanliness next to godliness, especially on the backside with the horses and everything else that goes on today. Congratulations, Tracy Anderson, a recipient of the Clean Barn of the Week Award.
Welcome back, everybody. 19 minutes to post for race number 6 as we're getting ready for the start of the late daily double. If you're just joining us, welcome to all of our friends watching on YouTube live and our Fairmount Park page. Go to YouTube. If you're watching from somewhere else, you can watch it from the comfort of your home, phones, whatever the heck you want to do. If you were just joining us, we just had another acknowledgement for a barn award. This is the clean barn of the week, and it goes to Tracy Anderson. So congratulations, Tracy, from everyone here at Excel Entertainment. Let's get on to the work at hand. 6 furlongs the distance. These are Illini bred optional claiming 20,000 non-winners of 3. They're Illinois bred. Aha! $10,000 increase. 39,500 is the purse. That's the reason. If you got an Illinois bred, you need to come to Fairmount Park. Let's take a closer look at the runners. They are down in the paddock. Another one being saddled on the walk, or right now currently standing in place, is Disguised Devil for trainer Michael Rivas. Also the owner of this one was an easy 9-length winner. I remember this day. This horse couldn't have won more easy if they tried. Nobody was making any money on this one, but it is first time. No. First time for the non-winners of 3 condition. Excuse me. So I think it's very interesting that this horse is 3-1. That might be telling you something. It's a wide open group, then, now, and always. We'll get to that. That's the other Michael Rivas. But let's talk about this one. Pretty easy winner. Took 9 tries to get to the winner's circle versus winners. They were an easier winner at Hawthorne back in May of last year. They broke the maiden against the Illini breds. So I think the horse makes the most sense here. Very hot day today. Julio Felix aboard. This 4-year-old daughter of Jimmy Creed has had 3 tries at the distance of 6 furlongs and has a winner and a second. Possesses an 80 Brisnet speed index, which by far towers over the field. So it's probably the right horse at the right time. And I really would, if you're getting 3-1, I would run, don't walk to get your bet down. Simple as that. Ears forward, looking very attentive. I like what I see. I noticed that, they're keeping him over here. I guess they don't want the horse to get too keyed up. And then they'll just kind of subtly walk around until they have to come in for riders up. The other Rivas horse is the current favorite, and that's Then, Now, and Always. A homebred for Michael, this 3-year-old daughter of Jimmy Creed, from the Sky Mesa mare, Nora in the Sky. Has never tried 6 furlongs. It's been a 5 furlong, 5.5 furlong type. It's been a bit of a specialist. 2 winners, a second and a third. They even tried the grass and they won. So when you look at the Jimmy Creed, Sky Mesa, I mean, basically these kind of horses can do whatever. It doesn't matter. Looks good, kind of throwing that head around. Good job by the groom. You don't want to get him too keyed up. Looks good. Ears kind of twitching back and forth. I've mentioned that's a very positive sign. You just don't want them pinning back. If they start pinning back, that means he or she is annoyed about something. And we don't really want to see that. Looks to be in a good spot here. Speed-wise, there's not an abundance. Basically, the majority of the crowd likes to be close, but not that close. So I think the 4 and the 5 make a lot of sense. If you're looking for a horse that probably will be the leader, is the 3, Tax Day Peyton. Just to the other side of Then, Now, and Always. 12-1 on the line. There's no way this horse was going to be 12-1. And they're not. 3-1 currently. This is horse who's probably going to be the early pace setter. And today, when it's warm like this on a fast track, it hasn't been guaranteed, but a lot of horses have been able to get out there, open up, and stay opened up. Scott Becker looking for another winner on the day's card. Alexander Bendesu aboard. This horse last time out just had no response. And they were going slow for 5.5 furlongs. 58 to the half. Finished up in 1:07. That was pretty slow. But This horse won at no park. Did some early fighting and then just backed out of it. By the time they got to the top of the stretch, they were already out of it. So I almost feel like Ben Desu just said, look, today's not our day. Let's just wrap up and let's get ready for the next one. 2 tries to the distance, and they do have a winner. And that one took place last year in August. So we'll see how that one plays itself out. Rounding out the top 4 for yours truly, the 2-horse, Halo Honey, for Eddie Essenbries. Rain Arietta, a 1 for 9 at the distance, but has knocked on the door 4 times and a third, so 6 of the 9 have hit the board. The Brisnet numbers are not bad for this group, but they are not close to being the top one. This is a 4-year-old daughter of Jack Milton, whose grandsire was Warfront. I would always think maybe this horse wanted to be a miler, but so far, I haven't seen that. 0 for 8 at the fast track, 4 seconds and a third. And it'll be interesting to see where Rainer Arietta puts this horse. So, 5-4, 3-2, the order, at least for yours truly, to start off that $1 daily double, or as we like to call it, the I need to get even race. Horses will be coming out on the track momentarily. Good luck.
Race number 6 for a purse of $39,500 for registered Illinois bred or foaled fillies and mares, 3 years of old, 3 years of age, and upwards. Going 6 furlongs. Scratch number 6, Miss Kitty Pie. So we're down to a field of 6. Playing the late double in the 7th race, scratch out number 2 if you wish to take part in the late double. Wagering menu, win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfectas, and that late daily double. Post time for the 6th race, just about 7 minutes. Four minutes. Sixth race field is headed towards the starting gate. Sixth race field is now circling an eighth of a mile from the starting gate. All wagers in less than 1 minute. Facing up for the loading process of race 6. Hello to everyone in Las Vegas, Arizona, California. Let's see where else we got. Nebraska, Delaware. And hello to you. Thanks for coming out today. Tax Day Peyton about to move up. And Coley. Tax Day Peyton. No sudden movements. Illinois bred fillies and mares, non-winners of 3. They're in the gate. And they're off. Good beginnings for Coley. Also out in the center there is Then, Now, and Always. Tax Day Peyton is fleet of hoof and goes right to the front. It's Tax Day Peyton, Then, Now, and Always. Coley is third. Back in fourth is Halo Honey. Fifth, along the inside rail, is Wildwood Triple, and last is Disguised Devil. On the leadership, around the turn they go. Tax Day Peyton just about a neck better than Then, Now, and Always. They blaze the trail. Pretty quick one, but not for this group. Back in third is Coley, and circumventing on the wide outside is Disguised Devil. And that one means a heap of business. Back in fifth is Halo Honey. Last and on the move wider to Wildwood Temple. They're done with the turn now in the sixth. On their way home, it's Then, Now, and Always. The other Revis runner, Disguised Devil, looks like a Revis Exacta on paper, and down the stretch, Disguised Devil. Then, Now, and Always. Which one will it be? They're nose and nose. It's Disguised Devil to win. Then, Now, and Always was second. Then it was Tax Day Peyton and Coley. Race 6 now official. The winner paid $360, $210, and $210, $220 and $210 for the runner-up there. Then, now, and always. For the show dough, that's Tax Day Peyton at $320. About to enter the winner's enclosure, winner of today's 6th race, number 5, Disguised Devil. A Michael Rivas, Illinois-bred, homebred victory for this 4-year-old daughter of Jimmy Creed out of the Sky Mesa mare, Nora in the Sky. The winning time in minute 12 and 4/5 of a second, minute 12.93. The 6 was scratched from the 6th race. Race number 7, scratch out the 2, Wildwood, overtime. Field of 8 for a maiden 62.50 claiming race at 6 furlongs for fillies and mares, and that comes up in 19 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. 12 minutes to post to our seventh and final on the Tuesday card. Reminder, we're back on Saturday. Another 7-race card and a 1:30 post. As far as this race coming up, 6 furlongs the distance, a maiden claiming 62.50, a huge scratch by my stance. Wildwood Overtime, the 2-horse will not go. Down to a field of 8. Let's take a look at the runners. Horse coming down, I have to say, with the scratch to the 2, Wildwood Overtime, I got to go with Just Squeezin'. One horse here for trainer Jimmy Watkins. Watkins, 23% at the meet. This horse, it's a great angle. I felt the same way about the 2, Wildwood Overtime. Horse has got speed, showed a lot before getting tired in the debut on May 26th. This horse was well met by the public in that common race, was second in the betting interest. That meant there was a lot of thought that this horse could run a big race. And, you know, for the most part, I think they got a lot out of it. A lot of times when they got these first-time starters coming in and you say, oh, well, I didn't like the first race, or they showed speed and they dropped out of it. I know most trainers, unless they're I punch early and get the win, they want to make sure they just get a lot of air in the lungs of their horse. More times than not, one race is worth 2, sometimes 3 workouts. So this is a good one. It was a learning experience. They drew the 2-hole. Unfortunately, today they draw the rail, but they do have speed. It'll be interesting to see if Travis Wales decides just to go all out in that first kick, or if he decides to let somebody else go. I'm looking at the race, and with the scratch of Wildwood Overtime, I don't see anybody else, and I could be wrong. I don't see anybody else who looks like they have to have the lead. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. My guess would be just get out there, and if they can clear. Today seems to be doing very, very well with horses with that type of angle. Move our attention to the 3-horse. That's White Lick Road, a 4-year-old daughter of Instagrand. His grandsire was Into Mischief. This one's only tried the distance one time before, and they did not hit the board. By the way, that is Mr. Watkins with the favorite. But Wild Lick Road for Ben DeLong. DeLong's, he's 8%, but you know what? His horses usually start heating up about this time. They spent most of the early part of 26 at Turfway Park on the synthetic. So I don't think fitness is going to be an issue here. On May 26th, that common race we've been talking about, they made a big run down the stretch. Second best in that field of 9. 3/4 of a length. I remember the race, galloped out really well and was claimed off of Dwayne Wells by Ben DeLong, who actually hits at 22% first off the claim. So that might be exactly what they went. As I mentioned, Angel Stanley gets the call. He's had a really productive year. Still looking for his first winner this afternoon, but I would not be surprised at 7-2 if this one was to prevail. Rounding out the top 3 here, Bell in the Temple for Ralph Martinez. It's a tricky read. He's had 3 races under the belt, never gone the distance of 6 furlongs. In the debut, they were reluctant to start and still ran what I would consider a decent third. Then were yielded at the start on May 2nd, second best, but the winner absolutely freaked that day. We talked about that horse earlier, beat 9 lengths. And then most recently on May 23rd, against the maiden 10 group, was willing in a field of 7, but the first 2 horses just blew everybody's doors off. Now this is one that's going to be probably looking to be first over, using a standardbred term. If for whatever reason the one just squeezing and anybody else, just squeezing by, excuse me, and anybody else decides they've had enough, this would be the horse probably most likely to make a move. However, so with that outside post, I wouldn't be shocked if Ralph Martinez decides, you know what, I'm going to take a shot at these guys up on the line. It's a tricky read, but we'll see how it plays out. First time versus 6 furlongs. Maiden claiming in general, Martinez hits at 33%, but that's only based on a sample of 15 of them. Sprints in general, and this is a number you can use, 18% in the winner's circle, 674 in the sample, and then dirt starts at a whole 18% with 761 horses in the sample. So definitely one you could see there as the riders are coming out. So with that big scratch, 138 is how I see it, just squeezing by. I think if they break right, they don't have to squeeze on by, but this is definitely an interesting race. That's going to do it for me. I will be back on Saturday. Keith Nelson obviously still has the race to call, but on behalf of Keith, myself, and everyone here at Excel Entertainment, we want to thank you so much for being with us. Good luck in the nightcap, and have yourself a wonderful evening, everybody. See you on Saturday. Good night.
And then there was one race, $6,250 maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3 years of age and upwards. They trounce 3/4 of a mile, scratch the 2 Wildwood overtime. Wagering menu, win, place, show wagering encouraged, exacta, trifecta, superfectas. Good luck. If you played the late pick 3, keep in mind there are many 2 of 3s. So if you're here, then don't discard your tickets yet. Next live racing card comes up on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Weather could be about the same. And looks like we're into the dog days of summer. And we will see for next Tuesday. We have the draw tomorrow. 7 races on Saturday. Hope you can join us here anytime. Keep in mind as well, with the July 4th and another visit from Peter Lurie, we will be having our St. Louis Derby, the $250,000 St. Louis Derby for 3-year-olds on Saturday, August 29th. So make a plan to join us then. You still have time for the field of 8 in the 7th and final. All wagers within 2 minutes. One minute. They're headed to the gate. Field loading in now for the seventh and last. And there goes White Lick Road. White Lick Road. Thank you again for your attendance. It's always great to have thousands of people here on Tuesdays and Saturday afternoons. We know you have a lot going on this time of year. Thank you so much for being out here. Rather Late moves up. Looks like two back. Dark Diamond, and in the center, Jack's Yellow Rose. Looks like the jockey's off the 8, Bell in the Temple. There goes the 4, Rather Late, acting up in the gate. Number 8 just is leaning on the right side of the gate. There she goes. She's centered up now, waiting on Dark Diamond. Assistant still having a heck of a time with Bell in the Temple, number 8. She just wants to lean all over to the right side of the starting gate. Now she's backed out. The others are standing well, but yeah. Okay, we'll see how long this goes. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Late scratch of the 8, Bell in the Temple. Reluctant to load, Bell in the Temple has been scratched by the stewards in race number 7. Horses will be backed out and reloaded here in just a couple of moments. If you had Bell in the Temple, you'll receive, in your late doubles, and this horse wins, you'll receive a consolation payout. Same thing with late pick 3s. So Bell in the Temple will be out. We'll have a field of 7 coming up here in the 7th and last in just a couple of minutes. Reload for race number 7 coming up. Couple more left to load. Rather Late moves up. Dark Diamond on the outside. Late scratch of the 8. They're in the gate for race 7. And they're off. Tough beginning for Rather Late, who's bounced around. There goes Dark Diamond out to an uncontested lead with White Lick Road up close. Just squeezing by along the fence and captures the lead away from White Lick Road and Dark Diamond. Running up into 4th. La Rose Blanche is now 4th. Backing off a little bit on the outside is La Rose Blanche. Moving up is Rather Late. Next comes Holly Springs, and the Dawdler is Rather Late, who's now floundering behind. Just squeezing by has the front by 3/4 from White Lick Road and Dark Diamond. White Lick Road backs out, and here's Dark Diamond. Dark Diamond circling up and has the front by a neck. Just squeezing by a second, and there goes Jack's Yellow Rose from far back, capturing the lead as they spin on in for the last race. Just squeezing by has had enough and backs out. Circling up, Jack's Yellow Rose on the board at 10-1. Here comes a move from Holly Springs, and from far back, Rather Late is late on the scene, but there's no catching Jack's Yellow Rose. A good day of long shots here at Fairmount Park. Jack's Yellow Rose at 10-1, won by 6. Holly Springs for the second. Then Rather Late was 3rd, and Dark Diamond faded to 4th. Entering the winner's enclosure, a maiden no more, number 5, Jack's Yellow Rose, and jockey Victor Lara. Welcome back. Owned by Caitlin Conroy, trained by Terry Burdess. Jack's Yellow Rose, a gray 3-year-old daughter of Sleepy Eyes Todd out of the cozying mare Queen Caribbees, bred in Arkansas by David Cobb. The winning time, 1:16 for 6 furlongs. 8 was a gate scratch. 2 was scratched before post time today. The winner at 10-1 paid $22.20, $10.60, and $6.20 across. The 7, Holly Springs, $32 to place, $13.20 to show. Number 4, Rather Late, $5 to show. The late double, Consolation, $1.50 with the 5 and 8. 5 with $5 double, $29.50. The exacta, $213.30. Trifecta, $425.70. Again, Consolation double, $150. The late pick 4, $827.90. 10-cent superfecta, $441.81. Late pick 3, almost $210. We thank you again for showing up out here live attendance-wise, and those of you online, have a great rest of your Tuesday afternoon. We'll see you all again, hopefully on Saturday at 1:30 for the first of 7.